If there's one thing to learn from Spy X Family, it's this: Anya must be protected at all costs. Spy X Family has become the latest big anime sensation. The spy comedy has great action, animation, fun characters, and above all else, a superb sense of comedic timing that makes every scene a treat to watch. But with so many great moments in it, it can be hard to choose which is best. This list compiles the standout moments from the show so far. Number 10, Stopping the Purse Snatcher. Everybody daydreams of that heroic moment where something goes awry and you step in to conveniently save the day. When the Forger family head out on their first official outing, that's precisely what happens. With Anya having poor academic performance and Yor only just becoming his wife, Lloyd has to make sure they ace the Eden Academy interview and come across as a real family. At the tail end of their outing, they bear witness to a mugging in broad daylight, prepping the family to show off their skills. Yor launches off in pursuit of the thief, but he ends up getting away. Anya, being telepathic, is able to pinpoint the criminal, cleverly feigning a random interest in a cake to alert Lloyd, who in turn alerts Yor. With the thief stopped, this provides the first glimpse at what the basic layout of the family's adventures will be. It's a fun start that displays each of their strengths and let us learn more about them at the same time. Number 9, Rescuing Anya. The beginning of the series eschews many of the key elements that would come to define its story and instead starts with the absolute basics: the relationship between Lloyd and Anya. Lloyd at this point is a dispassionate and ruthless spy suddenly forced into a very human role by having to pretend to be a father. This comes to a head by the end of the first episode when Anya fiddles with Lloyd's equipment and accidentally broadcasts her location. At first, it seems like Lloyd is going to abandon her and simply adopt another child. But as we see, Lloyd does have a moral center and rescues Anya anyway, because the real reason he became a spy was so that he could create a world where children didn't cry anymore. By saving Anya, Lloyd is reclaiming a part of himself he thought he lost. Number 8, Operation Penguin. Having to find a penguin for your job while taking out your family on a trip can't be easy. Concerned that his cover will be blown, Lloyd shrewdly organizes yet another fun family trip to go on. But unfortunately, he has another mission assigned to him impromptu, and he's forced to go searching for a penguin with some vital evidence inside of it. Anya once again steps in to save the day as she provides the cover for him necessary to do his work without Yor or anybody else noticing. The balance between family and espionage or assassin work is a major reason Spy X Family works so well. Having a random trip like this becomes significantly higher stakes by having Lloyd work to balance both worlds, and the unusual location along with the premise makes for a very entertaining episode. Number 7, Drunk Yor. As Yor tries to be a proper mother to Anya and wife to Lloyd, in comes her younger brother Yuri, unconvinced about her sudden marriage to a man he's never met before. As jealousy and hijinks escalate, the two siblings reveal they're similarly socially awkward and quickly become hilariously drunk. Poor Lloyd is something of a victim of both, as he then has to juggle between two increasingly drunk and idiotic siblings. He and Yor are keeping up appearances, so they're a little less uncomfortable with kissing. And even as this situation more or less resolves itself, it helps build to the lingering question of what exactly Lloyd and Yor feel for each other. Are they just simply putting on an act? Or are they truly falling in love? Number 6, Anya gets a Stella star. As a young boy begins drowning, in comes Anya to save the day. After some truly disastrous performances, Lloyd is not particularly confident in his plan to make Anya a scholar. She can't play instruments, she goes to read comics and manga instead of classic literature, and her favorite pastime is sitting in front of the TV to watch anime. It's looking very dour. But when Anya senses the boy in distress with telepathy, she again uses her hidden talents at deception to trick Lloyd into following her. With the boy saved, Anya proves her heroic qualities and earns her very first star. Mission accomplished. Number 5, Dodgeball Ruckus. When Anya and Damien hear about an upcoming dodgeball game that supposedly has Stella stars on the line, they leap at the chance, even with the stacked competition on the other side. What ensues is a hilarious game where Anya and Damien's team are at first pummeled, but then Anya uses her telepathy to turn the tables and dodge the balls before they come. The comic timing is once again impeccable, and it also ends with Damien leaping into the fray and taking the hit for Anya. Much as he denies it, the girl is growing a lot on him. And as Anya winds up for one super awesome throw, she once again falls flat on her face and fails. Or does she? For all the time she fails, the series begins to hint that Anya being Anya is what's going to let Lloyd's mission succeed as Damien begins falling for her. What she lacks in conventional talent, she makes up for just by being herself. Number 4, Castle Adventure. After being accepted to Eden, Anya requests a grand reenactment of her favorite show, since she knows Lloyd has the resources to pull off the grand spy rescue she wants. Most kids would want ice cream as a reward, but Anya is a dreamer. A few calls later, and one of the series' most delightful episodes plays out, with Lloyd as the hero and Anya as the damsel in distress. With different games, phases, and an exciting finish, this castle escapade proves another excellent bonding activity. Number 3, Anya Punch. Ever deck somebody on your first day of school? Probably not, but Anya has, and boy, it's one heck of a haymaker. On her first day of school, she comes across Damien, the boy Lloyd wants her to get close to. After having to deal with his high and mighty attitude for most of the episode, Anya finally has enough and decides to whip out some of the training Yor taught her. Unfortunately, Yor might have taught her a little too well. The series' comedic timing is next to flawless, and this is one of the best moments highlighting it. From the setup to the facial expressions, and Anya nervously trying to play it off even as she's handed a tenacious bolt. It's an unpredictable and hilarious start to her academic career that's both funny and places Lloyd's mission in enough jeopardy to warrant an ongoing episodic format. Number 2, Grenade Posal. When you propose to somebody, you want it to be exceptional. But considering Lloyd and Yor are already exceptional people in exceptional occupations, of course the proposal they have can't be anything less than explosive. Literally. Neither of these people are particularly well versed in social norms, so when their worlds clash, it's more of a natural conclusion that they just end up rolling with it. While Lloyd planned to propose with an actual diamond ring to keep up appearances, he has had to make do and proposes to Yor in a way no woman can ever forget. Nobody would blame her if she kept that grenade pin with her just to remember. Number 1, Fly Punch. Getting in front of the interview panel at Eden is arduous enough, but even tougher is passing the screening by the instructors there. Unfortunately, Murdoch Swan is determined to see the Forgers fail simply because he hates the very notion of a happy family. Anya and Yor pull off their roles very well, and they're very close to passing, but targeted bullying by Swan makes Anya tear up and embarrass Yor. It's at this point that it would be wisest for Lloyd to redirect the conversation and try to salvage the interview. Instead, he loses his temper and makes to hit Swan for his rudeness. It's an indication that Lloyd has actually found something to care for beyond just the next mission. As the family keep up appearances, it becomes less of a fake family, and over time, they begin to grow into a real one. Which might be Lloyd's true goal all along, even if he doesn't know it yet. Spy X Family has proven itself a delightful, entertaining surprise hit this year. With a rock-solid premise, perfectly balanced character dynamics, and incredible comedy chops, this show has proven itself one for the books. The mission's still ongoing, but hopefully it goes on for as long as possible to show us as many different adventures and misadventures as possible for the Foragers to embark on.